Good morning, students. Today, in our social science class, we are going to continue our second chapter of geography, physical features of India. Now, today we are going to take the topic the Peninsula Plateaus. The Peninsula Plateau is a tableland composed of old crystalline, igneous, and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. The plateaus has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. One of the distinct features of the Peninsula Plateau is the black soil area known as Deccan Trap. This is of volcanic origin as the rocks are igneous. Actually, these rocks have been renewed over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. Children, what here they are going to explain is that these peninsula plateau, on the top of it is flat and it is like tableland. It is composed, that means it is made up of crystallines, igneous rocks and metamorphic rocks, and these peninsula plateaus are formed because of the breaking of the Gondwana land, which was previously combined together. After that, we have two different types of plateaus: Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. See in the map the upper portion where the Thar Desert, Aravali Hills, Vindhyas, and Chota Nagpur Plateau is shown. It is called the Central Highlands, and the southern portion that is called the Deccan Plateaus. Now, first of all, we are going to see the Central Highlands. The part of Peninsula Plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highlands. Here, what they are saying that the portion which Central Plateau in the northern part of the Narmada River, it is called Malwa Plateau, and the whole area is called the Central Highlands. The extent of Central Highlands is from Vindhyas to Aravali Hills, and the slopes of Central Highlands is from southwest to northeast. That means Central Highlands are running from north direction to west direction and from south direction to west direction. The river Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, and Cane flows are according to the slopes of the plateaus. That means these rivers are flowing according to the slopes of the plateau. The Central Highlands are wider in the west and are narrow in the east. That means the portion of the Central Highlands are more wider in the western direction, and when it moves towards the eastern direction, it narrows down. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is the westernward extension of the Central Highlands. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is drained from Damodar River. That means that this Chota Nagpur Plateau, it has been formed from the Damodar River. After that, we have Deccan Plateaus. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. That means the shape of this Deccan Plateau is triangular in. The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west. That means it is having more height in the west direction and slopes gently eastwards, and it moves towards east. It is separated by a fault from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. That means the pieces that has been broken down from the Chota Nagpur Plateau and separated, these Deccan Plateaus are formed by it. After that, we have the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast. That means these Ghats are parallel to the western coastal area. They are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. That means the height of the Western Ghats is more than the Eastern Ghats. Their average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters. After that, we have Eastern Ghats. The Eastern Ghats stretches from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. That means these Ghats are moving from Mahanadi river towards the Nilgiri mountains hills in the south. The eastern Ghats are discontinuous, that means they are being separated from each other and irregular and dissected by a river draining into the Bay of Bengal. That means they are broken down by the rivers that drain down mixed with the Bay of Bengal. Their average elevation is 600 meters. After that, we have the Indian deserts. The Indian deserts lie towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. That means they are next to the Aravalli Hills. It is an undwelling sandy plains covered with sand dunes. That means these whole areas are covered by sand. This region receives very low rainfall, below 150 millimeter per year. That means in this area the rainfall is very less. It has arid climate, that means dry climate, with low vegetation cover. That means here vegetation plants are very less. Streams appear during the rainy season only. That means the water streams they can be seen only in the monsoon season when the rainfall is there. After that, see, here are the pictures of the Indian deserts. Now, in our country, we have two types of deserts, hot deserts and cold deserts. Hot deserts, the largest hot desert in the world, northern Africa Sahara, reaches the temperature up to 122 degree Fahrenheit, that means 50 degrees Celsius during the day, covering 9 million square kilometers and 12 countries. That means this desert almost cover Africa of 12 countries. Hot deserts usually have a large general and seasonal temperature range with high daytime temperature and low nighttime temperature due to extremely low humidity. That means in the day the temperature is very high and in the night that temperature goes to very low. In hot deserts, the temperature in the daytime can reach 45 degree centigrade to 133 degree Fahrenheit or higher in the summer or lower at the night time in the winter. Urban areas in deserts lack large daily temperature variation. That means there is lot of variation in the temperature in a single day, particularly due to the urban heat island effects. Many deserts are formed by rain shadows, mountains blocking the path of the precipitation to the desert. We can say on the lee side of the mountain, that means the opposite side of the mountains. Now, after that, we have cold deserts. The common conceptions of deserts as dry and hot. There are cold deserts as well. That means if there are hot deserts, somewhere there will be dry and cold deserts also. Deserts animals have adapted ways to help them keep cool and use less water. Whatever the animals who are living in these deserts, they have adopted the temperature of that area. For example, camel can go for days without food and water. Many desert animals are nocturnal, coming out only when the brutal sun has descended to hunt. Some animals, like the desert tortoise in the southern western United States, spend much of their time underground. Most desert birds are nomadic, crisscrossing the skies in search of food. Because of their very special adaptation, desert animals are extremely vulnerable to introduce predators and change to their habitat. After that, we have the coastal plains. The northern part of the coast is called the Konkan, that means area covering Mumbai and Goa. The central stretch is called the Connaught Place, while the southern stretch is referred to as the Malabar coast. The plain along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. In the northern part, it is referred to as the northern Kirkar, while the southern part is known as the Coromandel coast. Large rivers such as Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri have formed extensive delta on this coast. Lake Chilka is an important feature along the eastern coast. After that, in the last, we have the islands. An island is a piece of subcontinental land that is surrounded by water. That means a piece of land and it is covered from four sides by water. Very small islands such as immersed land features on atolls can be called islets, clay or keys. An island in a river or lake may be called an yacht or home. A grouping of geographical or geographically related islands is called an archipelago. An island may still be described as such depict the presence of an artificial land bridge, for example, Singapore and its causeway, or the various Dutch delta islands such as Ilse, Mondi. Some places maybe even retain islands in their names for historical reasons after being connected to a large landmass by a wide land bridge, such as Coney Island. Conversely, when a piece of land is separated from the mainland by a man made canal, for example, the Passageway by the Corniche Canal, it is generally not considered an island. Now we have two islands, that is Lakshadweep and Andaman. Lakshadweep Islands group are lying close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. This group of islands is composed of small coral islands. Earlier, they were known as Lakshadweep, Minko, and Amdiv. In 1973, these were named as Lakshadweep. That means there were three groups of islands, but in 1973, they all together were called as Lakshadweep. It covers small area of 32 square kilometers. Kavarati Island is the administrative headquarter of Lakshadweep. This island group has great diversity of flora and fauna. The Pitli Island, which is uninhabited, has a bird sanctuary. After that, in the last, we have Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are bigger in size and are more numerous and scattered. The entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories, the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. That means mountains that emerge from the sea. These islands groups are of great strategic importance for the country. Hope children have you must have understood this portion of the chapter. With this we finishes the chapter. Thank you.